Congratulations on the launch of Descendants: Rise of Red. Now, knowing that your characters are the descendants of Cinderella and the Queen of Hearts, what about the original films kind of inspired your portrayal of their offspring?
I think just in the energy of this movie and the characters, they of course are so inspired by the former characters in the original films. And I think that there is a bit of Mal in Red. They both have that mischievousness and kind of go on that self-discovery journey of, trying to find their place in the world and where they fit and, when it regards to good and bad. So I think that is definitely something that Red shares with Mal, and I definitely took some inspo from that, even if it was like subconsciously. I think that there is that influence for sure.
Totally. I mean, they're so iconic, and even with Queen of Hearts and Cinderella, they're such iconic films separately that we get to pull inspiration from. But we brought up a great point today. There's not been an installation where we see Cinderella's daughter or the Queen of Hearts' daughter yet.
Right. So we have that.
We had that wiggle room to kind of experiment and have fun with it. And I grew up watching Branda's version of Cinderella, so I feel like I always dreamed of what that possibility could be like. So now to be that potential come to life is so crazy. It's so special.
No one better fit to play Cinderella's daughter.
Play characters in the past due to time travel. Now, knowing that you have either an equivalent, Brandy, Rita Ora in the future, or a sibling, China and McLean in the future, did their casting or their portrayal impact your performance at all?
I think a little bit. I took little notes from Brandy because I'd seen her in the Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella as well. And also I got the chance to be on set when I wasn't working to kind of watch her work. But I really thought it was important to make this Cinderella my own or this younger Cinderella my own, just because there are so many iterations. And I really wanted to bridge the time gap of how she became that sweet and, maybe what was the development of that because we were all teenagers once. Some of us, some of us still teeny boppers. Yeah. And there's a lot of growth from that.
Yeah, I definitely took a lot of inspiration from China. I looked at all the movies and I studied her mannerisms and every little thing because I was we're in the same movie. I better get right. So I studied her and Ursula and I basically just put them together and prayed. And so that was that, yeah.
It worked out.
Yeah, I think for me, obviously, my character is the polar opposite of modern day Queen of Hearts, and so I think that my number one note was literally just do the exact opposite. And yeah, just, to help really tell that story and solidify that difference.
Obviously, Brandy, Rita Ora, two kind of modern music legends. Was it intimidating playing their daughters and sharing the screen with them?
Oh, I don't know if it was intimidating, more just so exciting. I think they're just such titans of the industry that to be even in the same air with them you felt this rush of energy and you just wanted to show up for them in a way. And I feel like they felt that way with each other too. Brandy was Rita's first concert, which was so
that
cool
was so
to
cool
learn.
Witnessing that.
Yeah.
It was also Rita meeting Brandy for the first time and having that. She was kind of fangirling a little bit over Brandy, which, we all were for sure. I get it. But it was just so cute witnessing their meeting and how well they got along. And there were even moments where Brandy was giving Rita, little advice on, what to... She wanted to do some little ad-libs in a scene. And she was like, oh, you should do this run. Whoa.
Yeah.
And, Rita was like, okay. It was just so cute to watch.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
They're amazing.
Now, both your wigs, I'm assuming, in the film look really big and maybe heavy. Was that difficult? And also, did you take home any rhinestones?
Ooh.
Oh, the rhinestones. That's a great
Good
question.
catch.
No one's asked that yet. I probably did. In my suitcase, I remember hearing a little clicking, clacking
Probably
every now and then.
unknowingly.
Yeah, exactly.
They ended up everywhere.
Was your wig heavy? I actually never asked you this.
It was pretty heavy,
Yeah?
for sure. Oh, yeah. She was a big girl. I mean, she was the diva of the set. I think both of our wigs, some days they felt like cooperating, other days they didn't feel like
Not
it.
so much.
So, it was a wig journey, absolutely. But no better time to bond with your hair and makeup artist than 3 hours in the hair chair.
Literally. I don't think mine was too heavy, though. I felt bad for Dara. Uliana, that was wild.
Oh, she definitely has, the longest wig, too.
I felt that at some point. I was curious. Girl is 10 pounds.
Oh,
She's
my
heavy.
gosh. They were pinned and they're good for our dancing.
Yeah.
Now, the wigs in the film are incredible. I talked to the other girls about this, and they seem to think Dara had the heaviest wig. But I was wondering if you can talk about working through the choreography and all your scenes and wigs that probably weigh more than they look like they do.
Well, I had an amazing loctician, Antoinette, so my hair was not heavy at all. I'm going to have to give that to Maleficent.
I was literally gonna say.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, I
Mars
totally forgot Mars
was
because
heavy.
Mars's wig was actually made by the prop department.
Yes.
So it was
it's not
heavy.
made to wear.
It wasn't
Prop
necessarily
department
the
and hair
most
department.
Yes,
you.
literally.
Yeah,
so mine was definitely not the heaviest. I don't even think mine was heavy at all. Thank goodness.
Really?
Yeah, it was not heavy. Miss Antoinette literally
That's
did her
nuts.
thing.
That takes talent.
Yeah, because at first it
Wow.
was heavy, but then she came in and she just like ate it up. And Mars unfortunately was still heavy.
Mars, unfortunately, yeah.
What
Yeah.
though? Sometimes
Such a
I,
privilege.
I move my neck wrong and I can still feel the weight of that pink hair.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah, I remember bending down doing the Life is Sweeter choreo and
You were
just
throwing yourself
Yeah,
around.
you were throwing your
like,
hair back.
Bridget's active.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
I would've just had a little 80s mullet. Like, I was chilling. I was like, whatever.
Yours is cute.
It was cute. It was light.
Yeah,
She was fresh.
little cute thing.
No,
Yeah.
I know on a lot of sets, on a lot of projects, it's hard to walk away with something from it because it belongs somewhere else. But with so many rhinestones everywhere, I feel like it would have been impossible not to leave set without a rhinestone. So how many do you have?
I did keep some butterflies from my shoe. I did. A lot of them fell off constantly, and I was collecting them. And sometimes they would take them back when I wasn't looking, and I was like,
No.
but I took it.
One of my most memorable that they gave to me was my necklace that I
I was allowed to permanently borrow.
Permanently borrow.
Bridget wears this really pretty like pearl heart ring in the movie, like on one of her fingers. And on my last day, I was able to take it home with me. And I don't wear it because I'm literally too afraid of losing it. But it sits like right in my nightstand at home, and yeah, it's really
I
cute.
love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you all so much for your time and
Thanks
congratulations
so
again.
much.
Thank you.
you.